October the 4th. All for one, one for all. That which isn't good for the hive isn't good for the bee. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations, 6.54. All for one, one for all. That which isn't good for the hive isn't good for the bee. Inherent. The Daily Stoic, Ryan Holiday, talks. Inherent in the Stoic concept of sympathia is a notion of an interconnected cosmos in which everything in the universe is part of a larger whole. Marcus Aurelius was one of the first writers to articulate a notion of cosmopolitanism, saying that he was a citizen of the world, not just of Rome. The idea that you're a bee in the hive is a reminder of this perspective. Marcus even states the reverse of that idea later in his meditation, just so he doesn't get that which doesn't harm the community can't harm the individual. Just because something is bad for you doesn't mean that it is bad for everyone. Just because something is good for you definitely doesn't mean it's good for everyone. Think of the hedge fund managers who bet massively against the economy. They profited by rooting for essentially everyone and everything else to fail. Is that who you want to be? A good Stoic understands that proper impulses and the right actions that arise from them naturally carry the good of the whole, which is the wise person's only good. Conversely, good and wise actions by the whole are what's good for the individual. What's good for the whole are good for the individual. What's good for the individual might not be good for the whole. What's bad for the individual might not be good for the whole. Definitely not. So we're talking today, October 4th, all for one for all. But we're all interconnected. There's a wholeness perspective. There's a communal consciousness, collectiveness, interconnectedness that we're a minute part of. And so when we are close to our identity, close to our individual needs, requirements, necessities, impulses, dependencies, attachments, egotism, egotistic, narcissistic, all these individual emotional needs, our identity, our in a level of, I need that thing. I want to be richer than everyone else. I want to have more things what other people don't have. These sort of unintentional in majority sort of movements, actions, senses of, because if we want to be rich, right, the notion of wanting to be rich must also mean that we want to be, is really we want more money than everyone else. That's a perspective of being rich. It's having more than everyone else. Rich isn't a thing, it's just having more things than other people. If you look deeper at that, the rich, wealth can be, wealth is not, the energy of wealth is wholeness. We all can feel wealthy without, independent of how much we have in the account, how much stocks we have, how much, what our relationship, what our status is, what model of phone we have, where we live, how many bedrooms our house has, how big our conservatory is. We can measure our wealth independent of that. It's a feeling. But rich and poor is a separate nature. It's a mechanism used to sort of individualize. It's to separate us from everyone else. It's like it's a mechanism used to create competition, idealistic competition with other people, and which competition creates force and struggle and inferior and superior. Like in a game of football, there's only, the outcome is one team wins, one team loses, or it might be a draw. And it's the materialist is looking at the outcome, the final result, independent of the performance, the intention, the process, how losers actually, how losing, how why losing is, we're deluded to think that losing is bad, and to push down losing and making mistakes and not having enough and striving to win matches, striving to win trophies, striving to win medals, gold, silver, and bronze. And that's all that matters, right? We're sort of hypnotized, deluded to believe, to attach to results. But where this offer is that City and United, blue and red, Russia, USA, we're connected. They're connected. They need each other. The buoyancy. Russia needs USA. USA needs Russia to form their ideas. I mentioned this on previous videos where on the mainstream, it's sort of proposed that Russia is against USA, USA is against Russia, but it can be seen that they both need each other to sort of manufacture and advertise their ideas of war and or whatever's happening. So yeah, the offer is today that we're all love, we're all together in this. We're all bees in a hive. And yeah, to commune, to find ways to agree and to find solutions rather than what seems to be happening is creating problems, being part of the solution of the whole. On a smaller level, in the communities, finding ways to help each other rather than helping our own needs. and knowing that helping each other can indirectly, as it's seen, help yourself. When you give something, you're giving to yourself. And when you're taken away from someone else, uh, when you're abusing or insulting, or you're actually indirectly abusing, it can be seen through the wholeness of perspective, through the lens of this whole. Let's pretend that this is a thing, the wholeness. When we're sort of resentful, we're seeking revenge, we're frustrated, we're angry, we're forcing, we're struggling, we're actually struggling against ourselves. If we believe this notion of this wholeness, we're our one. So maybe reflect on that as we're walking around. When you're walking past someone on the street, maybe see it. Like, that's me. Whatever you're seeing, whoever you come across, it's you. The tree, the dogs, the kitties, the cat, the squirrels, the apples, the houses, the sun, the rain, the streets, the cars, the bikes, the houses, the buildings, the stars, the moon, the politicians, your mother, your father, your siblings, your friends, your family, your co-workers, your boss, your money, your relationships, your things, your phones, your devices, your Instagram, your social. It's all you. Whatever you're gonna participate today in emotionally, it's all you. It's all been you created it, and so you can the way you interact with that thing. You're actually on a interconnected level interacting with yourself. So maybe ask, oh, how do I want to interact with myself today? If we just had spent a day of this sense of interconnectedness, how do I want to behave with myself today? How do I want to act? How do I want to feel? The bees and the hive. That which isn't good for the hive isn't good for the bee. What's good for everyone else is good for you. What's good for your neighbor is good for you. Use that as a barometer. Look at how are things around you behaving, and you instead of using how you're feeling or how you're feeling about your circumstances, situations. Look around you. How is everyone else? How is everyone else behaving? And use that and how you feel. What's your relationship with it? Using that as a sort of a sense of how you're doing, and yeah, making love to that one day at a time. And yeah, feeling like liberation in that, liberation in that we create everything. We are responsible for everything around us. Therefore, if we believe that notion, we can change. If we are responsible, we can change who we are to change our external. We can change our internal to change our external. As Marcus says, we're not. He didn't declare himself from being from Rome. He declared himself from being from the universe. So maybe today, when someone asks where you're from, maybe you can respond with the universe, the whole. I am from you. I am from. And maybe some people might not get that or understand that, which is okay. I get that. And it might take someone back and might sort of confuse someone. But it's only because we're used to sort of we're familiarized with. Oh, I'm from San Diego. I'm from London. I am from that family. I have this job. I do this thing. I do that. I have whatever it is. I have that social network. I have these clothes. I. It's all I. Thank you. Enjoy your day, my friend.